Hello and welcome to another episode of Be the Change by Photojoint. So you are ready for another rare of the rarest talk show? Because our guest for today is a certified life coach, a marketing professional, a passionate musician. Please welcome Polomi Nyogi. Polomi, thank you for being part of Be the Change campaign. So my first question to you is, what do you think is the major hit in economic numbers in your industry? So, as you are a consultant and you have insights about different industry, so by your industry, I mean a holistic insight from you, basically. So, how do you see this economic change?
See, right from the COVID-19 outbreak and when like in India, the lockdown situation started, there were like many changes and still we are not like completely acquainted with all the challenges and we are still facing some challenges. But if you ask me about the sector I work as like there are two aspects. One is the coaching or online consultation where I help people to grow, achieve their goals in their life, which comes under the EdTech sector. So I will say that like online education, tutoring or this web courses, etc. They have come up to be the need of the hour
Mhm.
because schools and colleges, universities are closed right now, and it's observing a sudden like surge and people from like all walks of life. Right from I can say April 2020, we are observing this like people from all walks of life, like from all the sectors, all the major sectors, they are looking up to something alternative for the conventional teaching and conventional learn,
Mhm.
because people obviously they're afraid to send their kids or their children to the schools, or they cannot travel for the lockdown situation and all. So if we talk about this ed tech or like the e-learning statement
Mhm.
in India, like this is we didn't expect this change, suddenly this positive change which we are facing right now.
Mhm.
Like there are so many online portals, well established portals which are working for the last 2 3 years, and
Mhm.
now they have gained up to a three times surge in the usage, like since March 2020, or you can say April 2020. Then like we the online trainers, coaches, we are trying to change the system change, because earlier it was all about classroom programs, and now we are bringing the classroom to the drawing room.
Mhm.
You just need one smartphone to learn. That smartphone is enough. You just need like the way we are talking right now, we conduct online classes.
Mhm.
So, because of this usage of digital education has increased, and these forms and like individual trainers and coaches like us, we are anticipating, to have an improved like top line this coming financial year.
Mhm.
And if I share some figures, like a report says that the monthly visit, which was like around 102.2 million, now after the lockdown it has recorded like 128.8 million. And I'm talking, this data is from like April 2020 to August, we're talking about August.
Mhm.
And the overall engagement of students and professional or like aspiring entrepreneurs, they have like it has increased around 8.5% during this lockdown period.
Mhm.
So that is like quite huge for all of us. And e-learning firms, like the established firms and like small consultancies or companies or individual coaches like us, we have seen this rapid change during this COVID-19 and this lockdown, because in terms of engagement also, more people are opting for courses, as it is quite easy. You don't have to go anywhere, you just have to like be in front of the system for some time in a day.
Mhm. Okay, so you suggest that it has been good for some sectors, but then again, there are many sectors for which it has a massive hit. Okay, like if you talk about automobile sector or manufacturing sector,
Yeah,
even
right,
agriculture
right.
sector. So, how
Yeah,
do you see this economic change, of economic hit to them and overall as well?
see, overall, if we see when in the March when the lockdown started, we all anticipated that it is going to happen for the maybe 21 days or maybe for a month. But initially, when this the virus, the outbreak started spreading, and it came as the biggest challenge, because when we I was talking to senior people, senior business analysts, they were also saying that we have not seen a situation like this in maybe in the last 50 years, maybe in the last 30 years. And the sad part is we were not prepared for this, because this was not anticipated. We were reading some news that it was a virus which was there in China and all. We never thought when these sectors got affected. So what happened is, like, agriculture, transportation, everything, like the supply chain, the entire supply chain management, they faced a big challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll not say that it is over. It's the challenges are still there. We are, like, every day we are trying to find out new strategies and how to ensure that, because see, when we work, because being an entrepreneur, I can say, when I used to work for a company, I used to only think about my own gain, that I am achieving my target, I'm getting my salary and all. But when you run your own setup, the first thing comes into our mind is like, what will happen to my team? So
Mm-hmm.
similarly, for a cafe owner, for a restaurant owner, or for a hotel owner, they always think, how to pay them their salary, how to like uh, ensure that at the end of the month they are getting their salary, their family, they're being able to feed their family. So it's the biggest challenge. Education sector, online edtech sector, I talked that there are like two aspects of my career,
Mm-hmm.
but the kind of challenges I have seen, and literally, I when I talk to my clients, when I talk to them, when we do a meeting, maybe like now we are all doing online meeting, that how to overcome this. Literally, it's very challenging, and we are still trying to find out, what is next. How can we ensure that, okay, the situation is going back to normal? That's
Okay.
a big challenge we still face.
Okay. So basically, for some sectors it has been good, but then again, for some sectors it has been bad.
Yes.
Basically,
Mostly it has a very negative impact. Mostly I can say, and because I work with like mental health and all, it has affected people, like the emotional health of people got affected negatively. That is what is a major concern now.
okay, okay. So with that, we'll move to the second question. What are the few steps you would like to mention that a common citizen can take to optimize their daily living? So basically, if you see today's economic hit, which economy has not just hit big sectors, big company, it has also hit individuals
Hmm.
as well. So many people have
Yep.
lost their job. Many There are many salary cut downs. How do you
Yes.
suggest that one can optimize their daily living so that it can be easy to manage for him or
The first thing is, like, we all are like social animal. We are human beings, and we need to establish a healthy connection with a community of like-minded individuals. That is very important,
her? Okay.
because when we face challenge, because most of the time what happens is, when we talk to a person, who is seeking counseling, or who is seeking guidance, we see that they are alone, they're feeling lonely. That is the biggest challenge, I'm telling you, because see, economy, finance, fiscal policy, etc. are there, but for a person, being emotionally well, being like emotionally content is very important. So you have to understand that what your community will look like.
Mhm.
So more than just a personal discovery, when I started creating my community, when the lockdown started, suddenly there was, I was like restless. Initially, I felt very restless that, how to go ahead with it. But then I started building a positive community of like-minded people through social media, or maybe through my own connections. So more than just a personal discovery, it was all about gaining new insights about the world around us, because the world has, changed upside down.
Mm.
Now the changes we have faced. So your community, what will happen is, you'll be able to share some workload. You can discuss about some new things. You can exchange knowledge.
Okay.
That is very important, creating your own positive community. Second thing is, which we all overlook, because we are talking about, saving money, or saving a few extra bucks at the end of the month. We often overlook a very simple thing, which is like reuse, recycle, and reduce, which I always say. We are now in an urban lifestyle. If we talk about an urban lifestyle, we overlook this basic funda of our life. We are so much accustomed to purchase new things, new gadgets, and new things every day. We see something on the social media, we think, okay, I want this.
Mhm.
But you have to understand that, where you are spending your money. where you are spending your money and do you really need this? I'm just talking about a small example about myself. When I go to a supermarket every month to buy my monthly groceries, I realized in the last 3 4 months that I'm maintaining a proper list, and I have eliminated a few stuff which were not good for my health also, and which were actually there was no actual need.
Mhm.
I just purchased them because it somehow it attracted my eyes. I thought that okay, this might come into my use and all. So
Mhm.
there was like at my home, I used to pile up things, and also you have to make it your discipline. Like if purchase and the expenses, you have to maintain a journal.
Mhm.
And I'm like the people who are taking guidance from me. I always ask them to maintain a journal for everything. Not not write on a phone or like just maintain a notebook. You take a notebook and a pen, and you make a journal of your expenses, make a journal of the things which you can reuse every month, or you can which was like lying down in your house for a long time, now you can reuse. So it's
Mhm.
certainly going to save some money. You have to focus on the waste management and focus on conservation of energy. We are so much accustomed to like this air conditioner and all this things, and we do not save water. I personally am telling you, for the last 4 5 months I'm taking things really seriously, because I thought that what is next, because this pandemic has shown such a negative picture.
Mhm.
What is going to be next? And if some like if after 5 years I don't get a like proper clean water to drink, what will happen to me?
Mhm.
If I do not have that much of energy saved that I can like in the like scorching heat or summer I can just run a fan, then what will happen to me? So that has helped me to understand that these are very important steps which we can take every day, because we always talk about big theories and big steps, and we could have done this, that, and all, but these are like very few small steps which can bring a change. You have to work on your emotional wellness, apart from your physical health, because you have to be strong, emotionally content and happy person to survive, because you're fighting a pandemic, and a pandemic is not a joke. So if
Mhm.
you're not emotionally stable, then how will you fight, and how will you fight your like upcoming battles? Because this pandemic is the pandemic might the COVID-19 virus, I don't know whether it is going to like get a solution very soon or not. But as we discussed in the last question, like the like things, the negative changes which we have faced, what is going to happen about those changes? So these are very, I think these are very important. And we have to like focus on ourselves. We have to focus on our day to day activities. We have to just reduce some luxuries and these things. I think this can help people to save, because traveling is now see, we are not traveling much. So
Mhm.
initially what happened, like when I started working 2 3 years back, I used to rush to every client's office for meeting.
Mhm.
And now I realize that you don't have to go physically. In a video call you can do. So it is saving so much of energy, it is saving so much of money, it is saving so much of time.
On mental health, so many people have lost their job, there are salary cut down. I'm repeating it. This is
Hmm.
affecting them financially. Okay, so you gave a financial solution that prioritize your things and
Hmm.
cut down the extra things from your list. Is there
Right.
a mental suggestion that to cope up with this situation, which can help them probably to face new challenges of the future with along with the current challenges? So, two lines.
Okay. See, there are solutions, of course, and I would like to say that there are challenges at different level. If I start talking about like challenges, what a person who is representing the agriculture sector, they are facing a certain challenge. A person from a IT sector is facing certain challenge.
Mhm.
So, it is a two-way thing. We cannot just blame the government, or we cannot just blame someone that, okay, this things happen, because it's a global pandemic. All the other countries are also facing the same issues which we all are facing.
Mhm.
One thing I'm very sure that if we motivate people to come more into entrepreneurship, that is what I feel, that there is a gap. We have to fill that gap, because people are more job oriented. When a graduate person here in my state, or maybe in other states of India, they think about doing job in a good company or something like that. But entrepreneurship is something where you're creating work opportunity for so many people. Suppose I'm a musician, I'm a vocalist, as you know. So what I'm doing is I'm just waiting at my house that okay, some company someday they will call me and then I will be able to sing. I'll be giving my performance and then people will recognize me. But what if I use a good social media platform and I connect to people that, okay, I am a vocalist and this is my niche, and here I sing Indian classical music or I sing Indian semi classical music. I want to collaborate. So I'm creating opportunity for others. And then I'm making a digital concert and I'm just asking for donations of 100 rupees. People can always spend 100 rupees, 99 rupees for, these things are, I think, still it's missing because people are still, when I interact with people, they say, okay, all the events are closed now, the hospitality sectors, because I know personally there are so many homemakers now, they have turned, home bakers, they have turned home chefs, they are experimenting every day. So their challenges will be always there, but it's up to our willpower that how we will turn that challenge into our opportunity. So
Okay.
mental health, if we talk about mental health or positivity, it's a big, we can discuss like for the next 1 month. But there is no shortcut to it. There's no shortcut solution to it. But it's an ongoing process. You just have to have the willpower that you're going to change yourself and you are going to face all the challenges. That willpower is important. Maybe it was just a hobby, but with a simple upgradation, with no major investment, with a simple upgradation, they are changing their lifestyle. They're adding value to their family. So that is very important. Adding value to someone else's life or someone, in your family or your own life for that matter is very important.
Okay, great, great. So, with that, we'll move to the third question. If we talk about change, what is the great change according to you that can be executed in large scale? It can be government policies, it can be change in industrial level, in company level. So,
Hmm.
what do you think is something that can be changed to improve the current scenario?
Okay, see, first thing is like to change the current scenario, there has to be a change in every stage,
Yeah.
every stage of it.
Mm-hmm.
As I work with like mental health and all, so I will say first is, safe workplace. That is very important because, now people are working from their home, but they will eventually they'll go back to their office. So safe workplace is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Second is, focusing on the if we talk about the pyramid, agriculture is the base where this, we talk about our country, we have to take care of the farmers.
Mm-hmm.
We have to think about them, whether they are getting their food every day or not. The agriculture, that is very important because we often, whenever I sit with my lunch or dinner, I just think that I thank the farmer who is like, because that person is doing their job, that is why I'm getting the food on my plate.
Mm-hmm.
So that is very important to understand. Then another issue which we have faced is like the migrant laborers. You have to create work opportunities in your state only so that people don't have to travel.
Yep.
They leave their family, they travel, and they struggle a lot. So if you create work opportunity in your own state and give that opportunity to the people of your own state, I think that is going to reduce their struggle a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And there has to be a very simple solution for small business owners, getting a loan, getting verifying, getting certified, like getting all the certificates done and all this process. We have to streamline these process,
Mm-hmm.
because otherwise what happens is, when I started my initiative, it took me 6 months just to understand the system, that what documents I need, where I have to go, where I have to apply, what are the tax system and all these things. So it
Mm-hmm.
has to be a very simplified system so that people don't get scared about starting something new. There
Okay.
has to be a constant motivation. Entrepreneurship, I'm again talking about entrepreneurship, that at every different level people are like, earlier what we see, like our mothers, they used to engage into homemaking job or like, cooking and all. But now people have realized, the women, they have realized that okay, we have this extra time, so we can just utilize this time and we can just, monetize this time by giving a bit of effort. So
Okay.
there has to be a motivation from the family, from the system, from everywhere. There has to be a constant motivation so that people can explore more. They can explore more avenues from where to earn money. And trust me, when we say that there are no jobs, there are nothing, like we talk about the challenges, but we do not talk about the opportunities much.
Mm-hmm.
When we, like I told you that I created this community of mine where I find that people will talk about all the positivities, and we can just, how can we help? Suppose I am providing a digital branding solution. A friend of mine, she is a jewelry designer.
Mm-hmm.
So I can offer help to that person and it will not harm me. It is not going to, because if I always adding value, it's all about adding value, which I just talked.
Mm-hmm.
That it's not always about profit and loss. If you start adding value, that person might go and refer to you to two different person from where you can get your high paid clients.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to build a chain. You have to build a positive chain which can help, which can add value to each other and which can help people to share knowledge, gather information and get good jobs, or get into a new business or a new venture.
So summing up everything, basically government needs to revisit their policies so that people can take an entrepreneurial stand. Is it?
Yes, yes,
On an individual level, we should help each other to grow, to stand.
absolutely,
Okay,
absolutely.
great. That
Because
was.
see, this pandemic, global pandemic, this is just because we are not meeting our friends for this a long time, for like 4 5 months. But now we have started socializing more, asking people that how they are doing, or if they need something, we can offer our help. So that is one thing I learned from this pandemic situation, that we are capable of helping others, we are capable of helping ourselves. We just do not try to explore, or maybe we just forget that how much capable we are. So on a personal level, if you start making changes together, it will make a chain, and then you can see the big picture.
Okay, great. So, as our most of the viewers are youth, young crowd, and millennials, so and we have a life coach with us. So, and as you know that young crowd and millennials are very bad with finance management. So,
Right.
what suggestion would you give to the millennials, to the young crowd, to maintain, to manage their finance more easily, more practically, and more easily? So, yeah, a suggestion from you.
Okay. See, I would say that, just have to make it a discipline, savings and investment. It has to be a part of your like daily, the way we plan our menu, the day we plan that, okay, I want to watch this on Netflix today. I want to watch this, and I want to go with my friend out. And also we all have this day to day, schedule and all. So you have to make this budget also a part of your schedule,
Okay.
that okay, this is like, if it's a discipline, when it becomes a discipline. Because I am following my mother, like my what she does is, like, she always writes the grocery, she makes a list, and then she goes. And that is why, her budget never increases.
Mhm.
Every month when she goes, I used to wonder that how this happens, that every month she is, getting the groceries in the same budget. But then when I started that practice, I realized that it's a very practical thing, that I'm writing only those things which I need.
Okay.
I'm not writing extra things which I actually don't need. So it's a discipline, and it will, this is a habit. It will grow when a person, like from your 20s to 30s, when you will get mature and will get experiences from your own life, you will understand. And then for young people, I'll say, uh, it's important to take life seriously, but not always, like, if you do a very strict budgeting and all every day. Enjoy your life, but yes, make it a discipline. Just maintain a journal, maintain a memo, and just make it a discipline. And I think they're very conscious, like people who are millennials, they're very conscious now. They have so many financial tools available in the internet, and also they can easily manage their finances. And the concept of savings has got changed, that we have to accept. Because in our previous generation, like performing in a job for 30 years, after that our parents used to buy a car, after that our parents used to buy a home.
Mhm.
But now, like, real estate is an investment, car is a necessity, these are not luxuries anymore. So it has changed, the scenario has changed, and we all are trying to cope with it. And I'm sure the millennials and the new generation uh, will also do good in this. And just you have to make a small little habit of, just comparing your expenditure, your earning, and just maintain a small budget book. That's it.
So millennials and a young crowd, if you're watching this, prioritize your list the way you prioritize your Netflix playlist. Thank you, Polami. Thank you for being part of Be the Change campaign. It was a pleasure having you. Your insights. If government is watching this, if individual is watching this, and if it is feasible to incorporate this, then please do and let us know. Yes. So with this, we'll say goodbye. We'll see you soon. Till then, take care. Bye.